good times.
Oh, we miss you.
Oh, I miss pressing the unmute button. It's, it's not just a Monday. It's like, and I'm away from the studio and have been away for a week Monday. Oh my gosh, I feel so rusty. Hi.
Hi. Hello, Junior Jock Sam. What's up?
How do I sound?
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's
like super pwede na?
It's a little bit better than super pwede na, but not as good as obviously.
Okay. Hey.
Sure. You're really kind of building up this new microphone that you have, and you're super proud of it. I'm not sure it's better than your old microphone.
Really? Well, it's so much more easier to carry it around. It's a lot more convenient.
You could say more easier, but we'll just give it to you.
Did I say more easier?
Mm-hmm.
I have a headache.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Monday morning, 6:27 on our start today because Sam had to take an Uber to get to her house. No, she's in Korea right now. We've got a big show, though, because Bam's going to be here, and he insisted to be here today. And I'm almost 100% sure the reason for that is because he would like to talk about what happened yesterday and kind of breaking down that experience. I don't know how many of you guys were out on the streets. How many of you, I mean, obviously I wasn't, Sam, you weren't, I know Bam was. I think Alex was in Baguio and Mara went to the wrong street. But
no, she didn't. Are you sure? No.
She was working.
Wait, so none of us on the show was able to be, oh my gosh.
My English.
What is wrong with my English? Wait.
You don't show English.
Never mind the March. Wait lang.
You spent 1 week in Korea and you forgot.
Wait, so none of us on the show except Sen Bam could be there?
I mean, how about this? At least Sen Bam was there because of all of us, he
should
be
naman.
Be more positive in the way your perspective, you know?
I would have gone. Anyway.
What's worse? All of us go except Bam or Bam goes and nobody else?
Well, I mean... No, of course, like no one is surprised that Sen Bam was there. But then again, it's like he's a senator. He's, in the hearings and whatnot. Like I would kind of get it if he maybe said like, you know what? I'm already part of like the team that's investigating all this stuff.
Little corruption fatigue.
Alam mo yun? So anyway.
Yeah. Welcome to the show, everybody. We're streaming worldwide, playback.tv/good times. Nobody in studio, so no phone call.
No, wow. Hey. Oh, I am contagious. I apologize.
No phone calls at 863-10899. No need to even give that number out, to be honest. We're on till 9 o'clock. I bet you we're not. What is going on with your breakfast situation here this day? Because you are showing it off to the people.
Well, I'm just really excited because I get to have fresh peaches in this country, which I guess you could get in the Philippines, but they're ridiculously expensive, and I'm just not going to do that.
That's another reason we need to rally. Peach prices.
There. So that's something I can get on board with.
Peaches are readily available on the trees in Seoul?
They're on their way out, I believe. So I am just trying to get it while I can.
Is that the emoji for puwet? Or it's apple?
Correct.
Which one is it?
No, it's peach.
Oh, look at you, girl, eating ass. I love it.
Ew. Why?
Soft and hairy. I thought it was an apple.
I forget how off-putting the show could be.
Yes, it is. Correct.
Yeah.
I thought puwet was apple.
Oh, like apple bottom jeans?
Yes.
But I'm pretty sure. No, I'm pretty sure it's peach though. What is it? Why is it apple bottom?
I don't know. What is peach in Korean? There we go.
Poksunga.
Does not sound delicious.
Well, if you spoke Korean, it kind of does. It does sound delicious. Does not sound like the nether regions though.
What do you mean nether regions? Expound. Go ahead.
No, like how. Well, I guess peach doesn't sound like the butt area either, but.
Yours says pork. I mean, it's closer to.
It's not pork. It's pork. It's different.
Where's Alex? Alex, where are you? I need you. Sounds the same to me. Pork.
No, the nuances. Gosh.
What is apple in Korean?
Sagwa.
Sagwa. Ang ganda.
See, where you put the emphasis, it counts a lot.
You know, we really need to do this. Since so many languages are spoken on the show now,
Yeah.
we should really break down certain words, like as a segment, and in which language is it best? Gets like apple. So, manzanas is a really good word. It's not the right word though for it.
Wait, is that purong Tagalog or is that Spanish?
It's probably Spanish. Hindi ko alam ano yung Tagalog ng apple?
Yun nga eh. Ano ba?
Manzanas nga, di ba?
Yeah, but I mean, that sounds like it was taken from the Spanish.
As some words are.
Yes. I'm just wondering if there's a purong Tagalog word for it.
Okay, all right. Maybe apple.
Okay, really?
Okay. So okay, what is it in Korean again?
Sagwa. Not sagwa.
Yeah, but that doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't sound. It doesn't look like a.
Okay, fine. What is it in French?
Pomme.
Okay. It's
apples. I think apple. I think English wins. I think English wins this, and that's okay. It's okay that English wins this. Yes. Okay. All right. Where were you? Peaches. Okay, peaches. Anong peaches sa Tagalog?
You know what it is? Maybe we don't have Tagalog words for fruits that are not native to the country, because why would you?
Okay, but then why do we? So what's peaches in Spanish?
I wouldn't know.
What do we call peras? No, that's pears.
No, that's pear.
Yeah, sorry, Joy. Which you don't. Star apple. Mabolo. Is that what that is?
Peach?
Yeah.
Parang hindi. Or is it like a native version?
Durazno.
In Spanish yun.
Yeah, in Spanish. Okay. Baka nga walang Tagalog for peach because nga, we just don't have them.
Yeah. So what is peach in French?
I think it's pêche. If I'm not mistaken. It doesn't really come out of my mouth that often. So I think it's pêche, I think. I think English wins this one again.
Again?
Yeah, because but pêche is good.
It's okay. But parang French is so matipid when it comes to the...
Not really.
All the one syllable.
Not really. Look, in French, apple is pomme. Guess what potato is?
Pomme.
Pomme de terre.
Like pomme frite.
So it's
right?
apple of the earth. Tomato is called... Potato is apple of earth. Pomme de terre. Terre is like just terre is...
Apple of the earth? So what?
Weird?
They think apples and potatoes are similar?
No. It's just...
Why is it... Then why is one apples of the earth?
I don't know. They just decided, like, hey, what do we call this? Apple. What do you call that? Apple also? Of the earth. So where does the other one grow from? Of the tree. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how it's like that.
I know.
Kultubi says peach in German is Pfirsich. If no.
Pretty sure that's not how it's pronounced, but
either way, I'm out on that one.
It's so complicated.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, are we done? We're done. You're having peaches for breakfast. Okay.
I'll just eat the peach now. Yeah.
All right. Peach in Tagalog is melocoton. Melocoton.
Is that true?
That sounds like that big shark, that ancient shark, the big one. Remember, the one that existed during the Pangea days. That big gigantic shark.
Sounds like a robot.
Yes. Yeah. Sounds like a robot too.
I
like it. Yeah, I could F with that. Okay, anyway, we got to take a break. It is 6:35. Welcome to the show again, everybody. We'll have the reinforcements coming up as we get closer to the 7 o'clock hour. Again, Bam's going to be here at 7. You don't want to miss that for some little political talk. But we'll have more discussion when we return. Don't go away. Back after this.
Good times.
It's Bamboo there. Very powerful song talking about fruit. And sorry, bamboo is a vegetable, right?
It's a tree.
Oh, sorry.
Unless there's like some
It's a grass.
technical
That's what I
thing
meant.
there.
It's
there,
a grass.
yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Some
you. It is a
technical thing where
grass.
it's a grass. Yeah. okay.
Correct. That's what I meant. Welcome to the show again, everybody, at 6:42. So I spent my day today, and I need your advice, Sam.
Oh, sure. Of course. My
And the
sage
advice. Yeah, and the advice of the people on playback, but I won't take it very seriously. So here's the thing. Like, you know how you are currently in Korea, but you're literally in the same apartment as you are when you're in Manila. It's amazing.
It's what I like to do. Yes.
Yeah, that's
I
really,
cannot
really
work
neat.
any other way. This
So
is
you-
the setup I need.
Exactly. And this is kind of the the advice I need. So I was looking for houses today because I have to move. So this is my last 2 weeks today in this home that I have loved immensely and have to give up, right? So I was just kind of doing all the walking around, looking house to house and stuff like that. And there is a list of houses that I like and that I need to choose from. The problem is, as all of you guys know this, because you've done this before in your lives, whether it's renting a condo, apartment, buying a house, renting a house, whatever, is debating what should you prioritize. Should you prioritize the better looking house, but that might be farther away? Or the not as nice as of a house, but the location is freaking fantastic? And I thought I'd ask you guys because I think this is always the kind of the big battle. I mean, sure, you can probably find your dream house in the perfect location if you have unlimited funding, but most of the time I think we all have crossed this bridge, right? Should I get the house that's really, really super central to everything everything, work, mall, restaurants, better neighborhood, all of it, or with a lot more renovations and a lot more things to fix up. It may never even be. It may not even, okay, I don't want to say renovations as if it's run down. I'm just saying to make it perfect for you. Kailangan gumastos pa and all of that stuff. And mas mahal, kasi nga location eh. Or maybe a little bit further out. But man,
You're buying.
House is a banger. Yeah, I'm buying a house. Yes. So I need your help. Should I go location? And everybody says location. But you have to see those other houses though. You're like, oh my God. It's so much better.
But what's that neighborhood like?
It's not as nice, but I mean, it's still okay. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to go purchase a home in just some rat fest, but it is certainly not as nice as. And it's not really naman yung. How do I explain this? All the houses are nice. Syempre. To me, all the houses are nice. But man, there are some that talagang wow, like swimming pool area to kind of hang out, TV in the backyard, like you can really kind of hang out there and all that. Or get a house that's also nice, but centrally located, no backyard, no anything, just a house.
Oh man.
Right?
Okay, what is the playback saying? Is it like
Everybody says-
unanimously
It's
location?
unanimous. Yeah, it's like unanimously location. Emmanuel says, no, ask Amsterdam. No, you can't ask Amsterdam because if you ask your child, they're only going to go for the house. They don't
Yes,
know
let's
anything about location.
let's have an adult make the decision.
Yeah, they don't
okay?
drive, so they don't understand that, to them, it's just whatever the house looks like, not really some of the conveniences of, malapit sa freeway, malapit sa EDSA, malapit sa, NLEX, whatever.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards location at this point. And what is the thinking here, Mohan? Of course, aside from it being convenient because it's so strategically located to everything, is it like the price also? Na parang it would appreciate.
Oh, sure, but I don't think about it that way. Like if I'm going to buy a house, it's always this attempt to be the forever house. Like I don't want to move again, right? So it's really this. Malapit sa school, everything. But funny when you get into these little internal debates, and all of you guys have been through this, okay? So this is not me flexing that I'm getting a house. But I even factored in, paano kung may LBM ako? As in, pauwi ako. Grabe, nagtatayo ako. Do I want yung mag-e-exit ka ng highway, tapos malayo pa, mga 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or kung gusto mo exit ka ng highway, nandiyan na yung toilet, di ba? I mean, I even thought about that.
How close are you from work in the central location?
They're all still pretty close. I mean, I would say 12 minutes, 15 minutes, something like that. They're all really, really close. In fact, the other ones are even closer to work than the one I'm talking about. When I'm talking about like the neighborhood, there's a mall right across the street. There's a bike path if I'm going to bike. There's the gym is across the street, parang ganun, or something further out. But again, don't not too much about me, but more just kind of generally speaking. Location versus how nice the house is. Where are you?
I mean, I'm a condo girl, and I love that my place is walking distance from like all the malls.
Yeah.
And it's weird. Like, it is in a quieter part of town, but then I can walk to the busier areas, and I love that. So I think I am going to go location on this one.
Yeah, dude. Trust me, if you put a gun to my head and told me to decide, I would pick the nicer house versus the location.
Really?
But then I would regret it the entire time.
Oh.
And then if I picked a better location, I won't regret it.
There you go. That's it.
I know,
Yes.
but it's, man, those other houses are so nice. Sam, they're so nice.
You can
Like
renovate.
I walk in and that's exactly what I was telling my mom. I said, look, we can renovate the house to make it look nice. We can't renovate the location.
Correct. Okay.
Is
Yeah.
Pero mahal lang yung renovation dito.
But I mean, you said like it's a forever house. So this is going to be a long-term project, and you don't have to renovate like tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But man, those freaking nice. But there are things you can't do. Like just because of space, there are things you can't renovate. You can't, like, there's zero backyard, Sam. Pero parang condo, zero backyard. And I don't know if you've ever, kind of wanted to maybe have a backyard in your life. You've never experienced it maybe because you've been a condo girl since you were young. But hindi naman ako lumalabas. I mean, I don't really even go to the backyard. But man, some of these other ones are like, oh my God, I feel like I'm at a resort.
Why don't you build like upward? Why don't you have a floor that's like a hangout area?
It's not that easy. No, it's just different. Like when there's a pool and there's like barbecue and like, wow, it's things.
The hangout area can have a pool and a barbecue.
It has to
and
be indoor.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, for a homebody, you'd think that I would pick nicer house because I don't care how central it is. I'm not going outside anyway.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that, Yeah. How often are you going to be out and about doing all this stuff? But
remember when I first started this radio show abroad, I literally lived at Central Park, like literally. I'm exaggerating because it was across the street from me.
Not like in the park.
Yeah, but it was
like he was homeless.
I could pee from my front door and it'll hit the park. Okay, where you ever watch Gossip Girl and they have that big beautiful museum that was right in front of me. Okay, never went there once.
Did you love it? But did you love being in that location?
I loved it, but the park I would go on occasion, but it wouldn't be as enough. Like you would think you would go to Central Park if you were right in front of it. I didn't go out.
Right.
It's almost there was a point where I stayed indoors for 10 straight days.
I think it's kind of like when you have a pool in your house and people who don't have a pool would be like, man, I'd be swimming every day. You don't.
Yeah.
You don't.
I won't. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Anyway, just thought I'd throw it out there. I think
have we decided then?
I think it's going to be the location one.
Yes.
Yeah.
And since we all pitched in with a decision, we are going to be coming over for the housewarming, obviously.
So you peaches are not going to be coming over.
You are so rude.
I got 99 problems, but a peach ain't one.
Come on.
Yeah, no, I think I'm gonna go to the location one, but the problem, like, it's the most mahal of the group, and I'm like,
oh, how, like, size wise, how big is the difference here? Is it like
the central one is bigger too.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, the location one is a bigger house. It's a bigger house, and yeah, all of it. But it's just not as
okay.
nice. When you walk inside the other ones, you're like, oh my God, this is so baller. It's like so baller. It's super nice. Like everything. Yung like it was like flood control money.
And that could make you look like you're trying to overcompensate for something, which is not good.
I don't care about fucking the image. Look, I care about the image.
We were not about that display of wealth anymore, Mohan. We're entering a new era, remember?
Okay, that's right. Yeah, this is our poor era. So okay. Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to throw it out there. I appreciate the the input. Makes me feel better.
Good. We've decided as a barkada. That's great.
So, barkada, look at that.
Yeah.
Sam's a city girl. Of course she's going to choose the location. Pinky Pick is big house, hard to clean. No, Pink, whatever bigger house, it's not as big as this house is right now. The house I live in right now, and again, this is not one of those humility aside because I have to leave it, is over 2 times the size of every single house I want to buy.
And you clean that house by yourself?
Yeah, I do. Yes, I do. Thank you very much.
So that's your day job.
Yeah, it is. There's no house that I am going to buy that is going to be even over half the size of my current house.
Which is why, why?
I can afford it.
Because, but you're selling this one, so.
Yeah, I know, but the laws that govern divorces and whatnot say, sorry, everything you've got is gone. Everything you have is taken away from you. Sucks to be you. Getting a divorce is probably the worst financial decision anybody can make. Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing there's no divorce in the Philippines. Because we always talk about, being miserable and hating your partner and it not working out and all of that stuff. It saves you guys so much money.
Why is that? I mean, is it because of the lawyers? Is it what is it mostly?
I think it's case by case, but most of the time it's you lose your assets, you split it.
Right.
It's okay. We're removing the impact on children, all that stuff. But
sure,
you say you build a level of savings, equity, whatever. The way it's kind of spread out as well. Like I was always under the impression, okay, this is going to be a forever thing. So all of my stuff can go in this name and that name, and you just kind of trust that this is going to work out. And then when it doesn't work out, you're like, oh my God, is that in my name? And then it's not, and then you lose it. It's all these other. Yeah, it's just ugly. It's ugly. I know I'm not making sense, but just trust me. A divorce is probably one of the worst financial decisions you can make in your life.
So are you now pro prenup? Going through something like this?
No, I wouldn't, because I still think that's, I don't know. It's so awkward of a conversation that I don't even want to have it.
No, you know what? I mean, I was listening to this divorce lawyer talk about the prenup, and it changed my perspective on it quite a bit. Like, it doesn't have to be, this whole in case this doesn't work out, you're not going to have any of my stuff. It's not like that. You're going to have to find this conversation and listen for yourself. But I just thought it was very interesting. I know that doesn't make sense either. Like, that's just not enough information.
I'm saying no. Look, that's definitely enough for anybody listening to be intrigued if they're in a situation that they might think about it. But that conversation is still so freaking awkward.
I suppose, just bringing it up, right? Like, hey, do you want to work out like a prenup for us? Yeah. Just I get it.
But maybe it's generational. Maybe your Zers and people who are much younger than us, they don't mind that conversation.
Yeah, I mean, what I learned was that it can actually be a loving thing where, hey, in case this doesn't work out, I want to make sure that you're taken care of. And obviously, I'm taken care of, and we're just going to make sure of that.
And obviously, I'm taking care of.
Something like that. He does a much better job explaining it.
Ew. Pero you know what's funny? Because we're Filipino eh. You say that first line, Sam. That first line that you just came out of your mouth, and that's a recipe for disaster. What is it? In case this doesn't work out. You think it's not going to work out, and then boom, you're into some drama. Ikaw nga yung feeling hindi mo work out to eh. You get it. That's what that's going to be.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, it doesn't have to be like that, but okay. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, we can take a break. It is 6:57. When we come back, I'm assuming Bam's going to be here very, very soon. And we have the heart of this show, at least topic-wise. And, of course, that's yesterday's get-together, little hangout, little eyeball, as the kids used to say, over all of this ugly corruption. And we'll do that after this. Don't go away.
Good times.
Bam, you walked a little bit yesterday, and look how thin you look, man. You look amazing.
Seriously, looking so trim.
Wow. What the hell is
Good morning.
Why is not supposed to have that effect? And you look really thin.
Hiyang
Or
ako
are
sa
you
mga
stressed?
hiyang ako sa mga protesta eh. Alam mo yun, para back in your element.
Bam,
Hey,
you're one
guys,
of the
good morning.
Good morning. You're one of the more
Morning.
high-profile political figures that was at the Trillion Peso March yesterday, and I didn't want to talk at all about it until you got here because you were front and center. So I guess let's just get straight into it. What was the experience like? How did it make you feel?
Oh, I was unang-una, we weren't sure. Nung una, parang when I got the invitation, I wasn't sure whether we should show up. And parang we were talking among ourselves, yung mga politiko ba dapat nandito o hindi? 'Di ba? Kasi it was a spontaneous gathering of individuals, the church, youth, business organizations, iba-ibang grupo nagsama-sama. And sabi ko, would it be, parang masuspoiled ba siya kung may mga politiko na nakasama? But then, the organizers invited, and after some deliberation, nag-usap rin kami ni Senator Kiko. And we said, no, we have to show support. Kailangan tayo magpakita ng suporta. Huwag ka tayo magsalita or huwag ka tayo pumunta sa stage or what. But we should be at least in the crowd. At the minimum, at least you should be in the crowd. And dun sa shrine, the mass was at 12 noon. And si Father Jerome is the parish priest of EDSA Shrine. And he's like an amazing priest, no? Sobrang siyang tapang, sobrang progressive. And, his homily was right on point. And when he was giving his homily, at sabi nga niya na yung bansa natin parang nalulunod na talaga tayo sa korupsyon. And it's time that we really make this change. Hindi na enough yung magprotesta lang, but we really have to see this through. Kailangan makita talaga natin yung pagbabago. Amidst all of this anger and amidst all of this disappointment and frustration, kailangan ng totoong pagbabago. No, I really felt he was talking to us, So I was happy I was there. And parang at that moment, nung nandun ako with the crowd listening to Father Jerome at the mass at 12 noon sa shrine, parang doon ko naisip na I'm happy I'm here. I'm good I'm here, and I'm happy na nakikiisa ako dito, di ba? And then from there, we decided, kasi until the last moment, are we gonna march? Are we not gonna march? Are we just gonna stay here at the mass? Or maraming kasi, maraming questions, no? And at that point, nagtitinginan kami, with that homily and with the number of people that were there. Halo-halo, pare. Sam Mo, no? Halo-halo yung mga tao. Like, you had people from Quezon, you had people from Bataan, I think, no? All over the Philippines at that mass. And then you had a number of youth groups at the monument. You had so many people in Luneta in the morning. A lot of people from the entertainment industry also came out to support. And iba-ibang relihiyon, iba-ibang edad, iba-ibang, socio-economic class. Halo-halo talaga yung mga tao. But, everybody united with wanting something better for the country. Yun yung parang uniting, the anger and the frustration with our country, but also wanting something better. No, clearly wanting something better. And sabi ko nga, kung nandito tayo, nagmamarcha, kung nandito tayo, hindi pa tayo nag-give up.
Yep.
Diba? The fact that we're here means we haven't given up on the country. We want something better, diba? So at that moment, parang titikinan kami, parang, no, we gotta march. Kailangan tayo magmarcha. So we walked from Galleria, which is where the shrine is, all the way to the monument. We took a right turn. And just really tried to be with everyone. And to be fair, parang natuwa naman yung mga tao na may mga civil servants or may mga public servants that were there. And it was just like ako, I felt like parang I needed to be there. I needed to show that itong frustration ng tao, hindi lang to yung tao, no? Pati kami, no? Na-frustrate rin kami. Pati kami were also, shocked with these numbers. We're also shocked with the levels of corruption that we're uncovering. Lumalabas in the last Blue Ribbon. When I asked Secretary Dizon, mukhang magkano ba talaga aabot itong scam na to, itong scandal na to? And he confirmed, posibleng umabot ng trillion pesos yung nawala sa tao. Can you imagine that? That's ₱1 trillion. That's way above the imagination of anyone, of anybody, except the people who are stealing kasi nakakita na sila ng ₱1 trillion. But tayo, we can't even imagine it. For reference, ang buong national budget natin is just 6.6 trillion. So for this year, it's 6.6 trillion, and this scandal, which has lasted years, maybe about a decade, umabot na ng trillion yung nawala. And syempre, pag sinabi sa akin yung...
I wonder how long it would take me to count ₱1 trillion, piso by piso.
Palagi ko you'd be dead by the time ka umabot ng trillion. Like, ganun karami yun. Okay? So, a billion is 1,000 million, and a trillion is 1,000 billion. I mean, think about that.
We wouldn't be able
It's
to count.
a million. Tama ba guys? Ang math ko? A trillion
I don't even know because
is a million.
I've never even said the word trillion in maybe 30 years.
Di ba? Okay, so pag sinasabi mong trillion sa akin, anong naiisip ko? Naiisip ko, our classroom gap is probably 400 billion. We were we were discussing about increasing the budget for our feeding program, yung national feeding program, which is also one of my laws in the first term, to help 3 million severely wasted children to increase their feeding program from 120 days to 150 days. Okay? So 120 to 150, 3 million children who are severely wasted is just 3 billion pesos.
Wow.
Okay?
Wow. That's fraction.
Iisipin mo, trillion yung nanakaw.
Yeah.
Ay, ganun ka-intense to, pare. Last year, pinag-uusapan yung PhilHealth na slash yung budget. And people were so angry about, we talked about that, di ba? Umabot pa ako sa show nun. That was just 75 billion. Okay? Ito trillion ang pinag-uusapan natin dito. And you look at, the flooding that's happening. And sabi ko nga, the joke going around, people were saying, itong scandal na to hulog ng langit. Kasi nahulog talaga mula sa langit yung tubig, di ba? And until that flooding affected so many people, parang doon tayo nayanig eh. Nayinig tayo with the actual flooding, nayinig tayo sa dami ng perang nawala. But if that money was just spent on actual flood control, baka wala na tayong flooding. Most beloved province of Bulacan,
yes,
of course, wouldn't be underwater kung nagastos yun ng tama. By the way, Bulacan is ground zero mo sa
listen,
skandalong ito.
Before all this, my house, I have a house obviously in Bulacan where I grew up, and again, sorry, it's very personal, but so 2-story yung house namin. That first floor has been flooded for 10 years. And we've just given up on it. Yeah, we've given up on it. We just entered the second floor. And then that's just where everybody lives. That first floor is just completely flooded. It's just nonstop. And yeah, I mean, there's a personal kind of anger for me as there are for many Bulacanos. But, yeah, it's mind-boggling how, as Bam, as you explain it, if it went to flooding, we don't have floods. If it went to classrooms, we'll have classrooms. If it went to, feeding children and the impoverished, they're not hungry. Like, it would change the landscape of our country dramatically instead of giving just a handful of people an obscene amount of wealth. Even like we talked about functional corruption last week. Even if we just said, okay, fine, you could be corrupt a little bit and you'll still have more money than you can ever spend in your life, we would still dramatically have changed the country.
It's you can have more money and you can have more money than you can spend in your life. You know how that is true? Because they lost almost ₱1 billion sa casino.
Right.
Okay. I mean, can you imagine that? Itong Bulacan group of contractors, yung tinatawag na BGC boys, they lost almost ₱1 billion sa casino to launder the money.
On purpose.
Okay? So, on purpose. No, or whatever. Kumbaga, parang naglalaro lang sila so they can launder the money. If you're willing to lose ₱1 billion, magkano yung kinita mo? Siguro 10 billion, 15 billion. Kung willing ka to lose almost a billion pesos. So, nasa ganung level na tayo, guys, no? And walking amidst everybody yesterday, mararamdaman, I got a little emotional also, I'll be honest with you. Kasi the last time I was with that many people was in the campaign. 'Di ba? And the campaign was so hopeful and we were talking about education and doing so many good things. And now I'm with the people again, but this time it's, kung gusto mong gawin yan, Bam, gawin mo muna to. Alam mo yun? Kung gusto mong maabot yung goals mo for education and improving the country and all of these things, we gotta do this first. Ito munang kailangan natin gawin. And, for me, yung klarong mensahe ng mga tao, of course, number one dyan yung makulong lahat ng sangkot malagot, di ba? Managot, no? So that's the number one thing. And that's very clear na hindi pwedeng may sacred cows dito. Kailangan lahat ng involved talagang managot sila. No? Okay, that's number one. But the number two, na very interesting rin, mas kailangan ibalik yung pera. You don't hear that often enough, di ba? Na kailangan ibalik yung pera. So that was also very clear sa mga tao na we're not gonna be satisfied na may makulong. Kailangan may mabalik. Kailangan ibalik nyo yung perang ninakaw ninyo. Okay. The third one, which I also found interesting, kasi ito parang nag-evolve eh. The third one was, kailangan ng totoong pagbabago dito. Hindi pwedeng, in 6 months or in 8 months, it's a whole other thing na pinag-uusapan natin or parang napalampas na lang. Kailangan talaga may systemic change. And that's why, in a few weeks, we'll be hearing the blockchain bill. May mga measures rin yung ibang mga kasama ko regarding stricter rules when it comes to government contracts and all of this. So parang pati yan hinahanap ng tao, di ba? So it's makulong, ibalik yung pera, kailangan ng systemic change. Parang yun yung mga paulit-ulit na sinasabi ng mga tao. And, tama
so
eh.
Crazy. I'm trying to rank them of importance because we do that a lot on the show, right? If we put out the kind of a couple of things, we rank them and what we want more. And I'm trying to think, what do we want more of the three? Is it systematic change is number one? And then maybe kulong, and then ibalik? Is it ibalik, kulong, change? Like, where are you at?
Parang it's a sequential thing naman, like one after the other.
I don't know. I don't know if that's true.
Iba-iba timeline niya sa amin.
Kasi, yeah, and kulong doesn't happen that much. I mean, sometimes you'll get a house arrest, you'll get kulong, but it looks like a freaking resort, and then
oh my gosh, none of that,
later,
please.
Yeah, a couple of years later, you get a presidential pardon, then boom, you're free. It's the kulong. That's why maybe the kulong part isn't so attractive to me because his history tells me it's not really kulong. Eh. It's just hanging out. Right. And then bam, you're back into the Senate, or bam, you're not you, bam. I mean, bang, you're back in power, right?
Boom,
so that boom, you're back in power. So that's why parang kulong is almost the third thing I want. I mean, systematic change maybe, and then I want the money back. I don't know. I'm kind of confused.
Iba pa yung jailed and convicted.
Yeah,
iba pa yun, di ba? I think people immediately want to see individuals jailed. Yeah. Yun yung gusto nilang makita, di ba? They want to see people jailed because all of the charges here are all non-bailable. So kung matuloy yung charges the way that we imagine that they will continue, may kulong in that sense, di ba? Of course, the court case will continue and they will have to face up to the court and see if they're convicted or not. That could take years. Yung ibalik yung pera, na-bring up ko to in the last Blue Ribbon. Okay. So not a lot of people pick this up. Pero remember the Al Capone case, guys? Di ba? Al Capone, right? Mobster in Chicago.
Yeah.
Hindi nila mahuli-huli si Al Capone on the usual charges. Hinuli siya on tax. Di ba? So kumbaga, you used another law para mahuli mo yung isang tao na mahirap ipin down on all of these different crimes. So I brought up in the last Blue Ribbon, the Competition Act. Okay? The Philippine Competition Act, which I passed in 2015. And in the Competition Act, meron dong provisions on bid rigging. Okay? And yung bid rigging or bid suppression in the Competition Act, may piyansa yan. There's a fine. In fact, it's not even, may criminal aspect siya, but the bid rigging itself is actually administrative. Meaning yung levels of evidence niya, hindi ganun kataas. At a lower bar of evidence, pwede ka na magpiyansa. The Philippine Competition Commission can do this. At yung piyansa niya is 100 million pesos up to 100 million pesos for the first offense, up to 250 million pesos for the second offense. So in the case of the Discayas, na inaamin nila na nagbabayad sila to win these bids, pwede mo nang kasuhan yun ng bid rigging eh. And kung they have supposedly 600 contracts, kung 600 contracts yan at 200 million pesos na fine, that's 150 billion pesos na fine. And that's the way na tingin ko pwede natin makuha ulit yung pera. Okay? Now, the PCC, the Philippine Competition Commission, needs to act fast, need to investigate. They can use the testimony sa Blue Ribbon Committee kasi umaamin sila eh. Nagbabayad po kami. Para pag na-award na ho kami ng bid, nagbabayad po kami. So meaning illegal na yun. So that in itself can be evidence already na merong bid rigging na nangyayari. And if they've admitted that they've been doing this for so long, ang rami mong piyansa sa kanila. So you can find them, you can find all of these contractors, lahat ng mga nagpa-participate sa bid rigging, and try to get that money back. So at least that's one possible thing na pwedeng gawin dito sa mga contractors na kasangkot dito, di ba?
And then in terms of like criminal punishment though for that stuff, it's not as severe maybe as
No, it's not.
But you get the money though, and
But you get the
money's
money.
big.
Kasi
and the
Philippine-
money's big, especially for the projects and the plans that you may have, like for education, right?
Yes.
Getting the money's
So,
huge.
And I think importante, gusto ng mga tao makita na auction off yung mga sasakyan, binibenta yung property nila, kinukuha yung, I'm assuming maraming cash yan somewhere, kinukuha, binabalik sa treasury para magamit ng tao ulit, di ba? That's the main complaint ng tao. Lahat tayo nagbabayad. I mean, we talked about this already. Lahat tayo nagbabayad ng tax. Dyan lang pala napupunta yung tax natin, di ba? Dyan tayo naiinis. So, I think itong aspetong to na paghahabol dun sa pera, mahalaga talaga. And that has to be explored. And they can do it in many different ways. Pero yung Philippine Competition Commission and the Philippine Competition Act, that's one way to be able to get it faster. Kasi it's the PCC doing this with their quasi-judicial powers. No? So they can actually act already on this. Yung pagkulong naman, tingin ko kasi people are wondering ano na nangyayari sa mga kaso. In the last Blue Ribbon, I asked Secretary Remulla kung ano ba yung timeline nila. And ang sabi niya, minimum of 40 days. Okay? I don't know if people are willing to wait 40 days, honestly. Parang kahapon yung mga tao naghahanap ng aksyon this week or next week. I don't know kung makakahintay sila ng 40 days. Pero ang sinabi ni Secretary Remulla, if you're gonna follow due process, the earliest is 40 days. It's 40 to 60 days, basically. So we're looking at somewhere in November, dapat may mga charges nang nakafile at dapat may mga kinukulong na ng mga individual. And that's something I think na kailangan nating lahat bantayan. And for me, we have to allow the investigators to do their thing. No, you have the independent commission already calling in people, getting more evidence and more testimony. And then you have Senator Lacson also chairing the Blue Ribbon hearing. We have a Blue Ribbon hearing tomorrow, by the way. And we have to allow them. Give them the support. Support natin sila to be able to get all of this evidence and to file the proper charges. So dalawa na yan. You've got the
What's your
makulong.
confidence level though, Bam, in an independent group of people investigating?
High, very high.
We've seen this in the past, right?
No. Some commissions in the past sinushoot down ng Supreme Court. So I think there were some commissions na sinubukan to put up and shoot down yan ng Supreme Court during Pinoy's time, I think during Duterte's time also. But this one, carefully crafted yung kanilang the document that creates them. And they're basically here to ferret out the truth and to recommend to the justice agencies. No? Now, my level of confidence is high kasi kilala ko yung mga ibang tao dyan. No? Specifically, si Mayor Magalong, who's a good friend. And alam ko, investigador talaga yan. Like, hindi yan papayag na may makalusot. And former Secretary Babe Singson, who's been there and done that already. At, alam niya inside out yung DPWH. So, I have full trust and confidence in them. Ako lang, we should support them, allow them to do their work, and make sure na walang magiging hadlang sa kanila, di ba? And while they're ongoing, you've got the Senate ongoing also with the Blue Ribbon. I think the House is gonna stop. The news is that they're gonna stop their investigations already and just allow the ICI to do their work. So kailangan tong tumuloy. You have to allow them to do their, sabi nga, let them cook, di ba? Let them cook, let them do their work. And hopefully, at the soonest possible time, makalabas na sila ng kanilang findings, di ba? Both the Senate and the ICI. And lahat naman yan, ang ending niyan sa korte. That will all eventually go to the court, the ombudsman, to the DOJ, and then court cases will be filed from there. So, first, yung may makulong, ongoing investigation, makuha yung pera, there are different ways to do it. Yung pangatlo, yung systemic change. And ito siguro yung maybe when things have died down already, ito yung kailangan nating masinsinang pag-usapan. Kasi it's of course mahalaga yung we vote for better people, and I think that's the usual answer. Pero tagal pa ng election, guys, di ba? 3 taon pa yan eh. Practically 3 years pa yan yung election. So in the meantime, what can we do? And this is where the blockchain bill comes into play. Like, we're gonna start our hearings on the blockchain bill in October. There will be different measures on how to make things stricter. May mga naka-file na rin dyan. And I'm hoping na something real comes out of this. Yung blockchain's interesting kasi gusto ko tingnan kung sinong tututol eh. Alam mo yun, I wanna see who's gonna oppose, di ba? Makikita mo pag nag-oppose na kung ahensya ba yan, or individuals ba yan, or groups ba yan. Tingnan natin no, kung sino yung mag-oppose niyan. Meron ng konting opposition, may konti ng pushback online eh. And more than reacting to it, talagang ina-analyze namin sino ba yung nagpo-pushback dito, ano ba talaga yung gusto nila, ano ba talaga yung balak nila. Kasi once you're able to do a bill of that size and of that nature, ano talaga siya eh, game changer siya. You're changing the infrastructure of how government transacts. And kapag sobrang transparent na yan, na bawat citizen with their phone, kaya nilang malaman magkano ba to, sino bang contractor niyan, magkano ba yung semento na. By the way, yung mga presyo ng semento, presyo ng bakal, lumalabas na may racket rin dyan. Ha? So, magkano ba yung semento at bakal at ganyan? Sino bang na-award? Sino bang, if every citizen can eventually find out, no, malaman talaga, who is behind this, what's really going on, I think that can be one of the most powerful tools that citizens can use, no, to be that check and balance for the people. So, itong mga systemic changes, it'll take a little bit more time. But I'm hoping hindi tayo mawalan ng energy. Kasi 'di ba yung joke nga ni Alex before is ang mga Pilipino dali ma-distract, 'di ba? And so far from July, August, September, end of July on. So August, September, mag-October na. We're going on 2 months that this is really front and center. Kailangan guys, naka-focus tayo dito para hindi lang makulong yung dapat makulong, hindi lang mabalik yung pera, but the more, I guess masabi ko, the more difficult the systemic changes can actually be done. Yeah. And I hope this carries all the way to the elections and we vote for better people also.
Yesterday, I wanted to see if you had a take on this, and somebody brought it up here on playback, but Vice Ganda was a very, kind of, what do you call this, pretty influential on stage, very loud, very, rightfully so, and a huge figure. Vice said, the restoration of the death penalty for corrupt officials is what's needed. And I wanted to know what you thought about that statement. Very powerful statement.
Yeah. Naintindihan ko yan. May mga iba rin akong kaibigan na yan ang pinupush nila. But the truth is kasi ang death penalty sa Pilipinas, usually mahihirap yun na the death penalty. Yeah. I have to be very, very honest, di ba? I mean, magandang sabihin death penalty for corrupt officials, but in the course of our history, yung mga na death penalty, usually sila yung walang abogado, sila yung, may mga ebidensya na hindi nila ma-refute, mga ganyan, di ba? So, I think our justice system, clearly maraming problema. And until our justice system improves, I'm not really for the death penalty. But naintindihan ko where it comes from. I totally understand where it comes from. Now, masisigurado mo ba yun na, alam mo yun, parang maraming question yan eh. And then usually, it becomes a socio-economic thing. So, I mean, that was I've voted for laws or supported laws or not supported laws for the same reason. For example, yung medical marijuana, di ba? That was brought up during the time of Duterte. Yep. And even though I was very friendly with the groups supporting it, maraming health groups were supporting it, no? And nakakaawa kasi these are, sometimes children with epilepsy, cancer patients. But at that time, sabi ko, ang hirap ipasa nito during the time na may extrajudicial killings sa ating bansa. Because ang mangyayari niyan, yung mga may kayang pumunta sa doktor, meron silang parang may magagamit silang reseta to get out of this, while most Filipinos are subject to the drug war, 'di ba? So sa palagay ko right now the death penalty baka mahirap pa considering ganito yung ating justice system, no? And it's something I think we can revisit down the line. But I totally understand kung saan nangagaling si Vice, no?
Yeah. If we go back to what you were saying earlier when you first got here regarding the decision to actually walk, for the trillion peso march. By the way, the date obviously was symbolic, September 21, right? The anniversary of the martial law declaration in 72. But when you were, I think the story you were saying is you were kind of getting together with Kiko and going, okay, should we go or should we not go? Was there any pressure from the other senators or maybe looks of, hey, maybe we shouldn't, or anybody urging you not to do it?
Wala naman, no. So obviously,
no chat group with the Senate going, hey guys, should we all go? Bam's like, I'm going, wag.
Hindi na pag-usapan sa chat group. Pero sa chat group namin ni Kiko, of course, na pag-usapan. Senator Risa was also there earlier. Congresswoman Laila was with us. Even Mayor Magalong also went to mass, at an earlier mass in the shrine. So I think yung pagpunta sa shrine just to go to mass was also parang nakikiisa ka, 'di ba? Hindi ka naman clearly hindi naman kami yung organizers of the day because there were other people organizing it, but we just wanted to show solidarity and show support. Ang laking bagay nung church mobilization for this. Mm-hmm. Kasi in the shrine there were groups from all over the country. Kasi the 12 o'clock mass, yun yung misa, na pagkatapos ng misa, lahat tayo magmamarcha. Parang ganyan, no? So everybody was in white. These were the organized groups of different dioceses, different areas. And, the homily of Father Jerome, who is the parish priest of the shrine, talagang fiery, no? Talagang ang lalim ng hugot niya. Ang lalim ng hugot niya na yung bansa natin cannot continue this way. And I guess everybody who was there, lahat ng taong nandun, and again, halo-halo different persuasions. May mga placard nga, di ba? Hindi ako pink, hindi ako yellow, hindi ako red, hindi ako green, hindi ako DDS, hindi ako ganto, pero galit ako sa corruption. Ako Pilipino ako. May mga ganong placards, di ba? Just to show na, we may not unify on a lot of things, but siguro naman we can unify against corruption. Di ba? If there's one thing we can agree on, hindi tama na ninanakawan tayo. Hindi tama na trilyong peso nawawala na lang. Imbis na napupunta sa tama, napupunta sa ilan lang. So, I think that can be unifying. And, the People Power Monument, kasi syempre, ang konotosyon yun is, of course, EDSA. So, yellow at pink na naman. But actually, yesterday, I think there were people there na hindi naman sila, yellow or pink in the previous elections, but they were still there. Nandun pa rin sila. I think there are also some Duterte supporters who were there. To be fair.
So
diba?
I did hear that.
So alam mo yon. So parang we can unify on this issue. At least for this issue, pwede tayo magkaisa. Klaro ko ano yung ayaw natin. Diba? Klaro ko ano yung ayaw natin, which is ninanakawan tayo at ginagago tayo. At klaro yung gusto natin, which is, a better country, better leaders, a better system. Diba? A more fair Philippines. Yun yung gusto natin, di ba? And, I was walking with a lot of young people also. Maraming kabataan. Sobrang daming kabataan. And again, halo-halo. Halo-halo. Iba-ibang eskwelahan, iba-ibang, iba-iba, no? In fact, there was a huge LGBT group in front of us yesterday. May yung chant nila yung ang Becky ng bayan ngayon ay lumalaban, ganyan, di ba? And then katabi nila mga madre. Alam mo yun, so halo-halo talaga. Halo-halo, and that's great, di ba? I mean, that's the type of unity that we want to see. Nagkakaisa tayo dito. But it's not gonna happen overnight. It's gonna take a lot more hearings, a lot more investigations, pero habang nakakonsentrate tayo, gagalaw at gagalaw to. Kung mawala to sa isipan natin or ma-distract tayo, babagal yan. I can feel it the intense emotion and concentration ng tao, yan yung nagda-drive ng pace. So we have to focus, we have to be there, 'di ba? And at any instance kung ma-distract tayo, babagal yan. May mga kasingit na diyan. And sabi ko nga, I always used to say, the blockchain bill, posible ang mapasa. Hindi yan mapapasa sa term na to. Sabi yung ganyan, kailangan mo ng presidente na talagang full force behind this bill because it's like FOI on steroids eh.
Right,
Kumbaga, in FOI, freedom of information mo, lahat ng transaction, which has never happened before, di ba? So, I used to say that. And I used to say, bring up ko na lang to when mas friendly yung next president kasi baka doon may makita tayo. But, I'm actually starting the hearings in a few weeks because there's an opportunity to get this done. Nagulat na lang ako, there are some congressmen who filed it. Maybe out of the 5 who filed it, isa lang kami nag-coordinate. But there are other people who filed it independently. And the tech sector is really pushing it. And still, tama ba to, guys? Still the highest number of views on my Facebook at 24 million views. So meaning may interest talaga, whether naiintindihan talaga yung blockchain per se or the idea na meron tayong sistemang mas sigurado at mas sagrado. Diba? Yan palagay ko yung hinahanap ng tao. And I have to credit again that guy na kasama ko sa Cebu Pacific. I forgot his name. Sir, kung nakikinig ka, pakilagay na lang dyan sa play mo. Pero isang oras kaming nakapila sa Cebu Pacific and he gave me such a great use case. Sabi niya, Sen, gusto ko, lalabas ko yung telepono ko. Lalabas ko yung telepono ko. Na-excite yung mouse ko. Lalabas ko yung telepono ko. Tututok kong ganyan dun sa billboard kasi mandated yun di ba? May QR code doon at pag ginanyan ko, lalabas lahat ng detalye ng proyekto. Sino yung contractor, magkano niya nakuha yung kontrata, magkano yung na-release sa kanya, na-update pa yan, ano yung level of completion, magkano yung bakal, magkano yung semento, and then I can just go on ChatGPT and say, itong sementong to, bakit to 270 pesos? As a hardware store, 170 pesos lang to. Or any citizen, because it's digitized, can actually have prompts to check. Meron ka ng budget watch dyan. Anytime may proyekto in this chain na yung semento goes above the market price, pwede ka na mag-trigger kaagad. Matitrigger yung media agencies, matitrigger yung any watch group, any citizens watch group. That's the power of technology if it's digitized and on the chain, di ba? Yeah. So yan yung gusto nating makita. Can it be done? So far, the tech experts who have, by the way guys sa dinami-dami ng nasulong ko, from feeding programs to free education, this is the only bill na ang raming volunteer. Sobrang daming gusto mag-volunteer. And it's funny kasi initially we put a budget to this. Diyan ako nabatikos by the way, bakit daw napakamahal. But honestly, we just put that number kasi we weren't sure kung magkano. Ang rami nag-volunteer na groups, they wanna do it for free.
Nice.
From the Blockchain Council of the Philippines to, of course, kailangan mong suriin dun yan. You have to be careful, di ba? But ang raming nag-volunteer to do it for free. Ang raming nag-volunteer to do it for the country. And the people who are in blockchain and who are in crypto, naiintindihan nila what this means. If we're able to do this, naiintindihan na, nagigets nila, pag nagawa natin to, what it could mean for the future of our country. So, we're gonna start hearing this and babantayan namin yung progress. Kung mapasa to, alam mo, that's something I wouldn't have imagined. Kasi I really, really imagined na this could only get done maybe in a friendlier administration, di ba? But it might get done with the concentration ng tao kung gaano kahalaga tong topic na to. Baka mapasa pa siya. And maybe, let's say, kunyari, mapasa yan in a year and then they start implementing, maybe by 2028, our budget's on the blockchain. And we might even be the first country to do it, di ba? Can you imagine that? Then every citizen, the power of every citizen to know, the power of information, alam niya. Alam niya kung magkano yung napupunta sa kanyang hospital, sa kanyang probinsya. Alam niya kung ilang classrooms yung gagawin this year sa kanyang city or municipality. Alam niya kung magkano. No? Grabe, that's so powerful. And once you release that sunshine, sabi nga nila, diba, sunshine kills all the germs. Kapag nagka-sunshine ka na dyan, nakita mo na lahat yan. Lahat ng mga nakatago, lahat ng mga kontrata na alanganin, lahat yan, makikita ka agad. And maybe it will be the best deterrent kasi kitang-kita ng tao kung ano yung ginagawa ng gobyerno. So I'm quite hopeful for it. And maybe that's one of the measures na kailangan natin gawin for this change na pangmatagalan, di ba?
You know, Bam, when I go online and I especially yesterday and kind of just seeing all the posts regarding the trillion peso march and, you know, everything from influencers to people who have hot takes on what they think is going to happen. I think the biggest fear is, how is this any different? How is this any different from when people get together, get upset? But how is this any different from the pork barrel scam? How are we not just going to continue this spiral of gets a lot of attention and then all of a sudden people have less energy about it? And I know you brought it up. You said, hey, we should really make sure we stay steadfast, and a lot of attention is still put on there from the public and maybe even from you, right, Bam?
Yeah.
If you still feel the pulse, the temperature starting to lower, you bring it up in your own way. But I think maybe the way I'd like to answer is, how is this any different, whether you agree or not, is just the scale of this problem. When we had the pork barrel scam, or you had your, even was the other one before, the ZTE?
Polis, ZTE a long time ago.
Those were billions of pesos. Well, billions still crazy. Is this the first scandal that we are dipping into trillion territory?
Yes.
Talked about, right?
Yes.
And maybe that's just, maybe that's the line, right? Where we said, okay, that's it, goddammit. Trillion, it's over. We're going to see this through.
In 2019, yung end of my first term, ang budget ng Pilipinas, 3.3 trillion.
Yeah.
Ng buong Pilipinas, okay, 3.3 trillion, ganun kaliit. 1/3 na to ng budget natin in 2019. Ngayon, it's maybe about 18%. Right? Used to be at 33%. I mean, ganun kalalaking pera to. Ganun kalalaking pera yung pinag-uusapan natin. No? But, to answer that question mo, nasa atin yan eh. Diba? The true power belongs to the people. Right?
Mm-hmm.
True power belongs to the people. I mean, kaya nga tayo nasa People Power Monument kahapon eh. Kasi yung kapangyarihan dapat nasa tao. Hindi lang dapat nasa politiko. Dapat nasa tao. So, nasa atin to. Whether in 2028, makakalimutan na naman natin to, and we're just gonna vote for the same old people, and we're not gonna push for reformers, we're not gonna push for people na talagang gagawa ng mga pagbabago. Nasa atin to eh. Nasa kamay natin to eh. And itong defeatist attitude, narinig ko na yan eh. Alam mo kung saan kayo narinig? In my campaign. Kasi nung una kang tumakbo, huwag ka na tumakbo. Madadaya ka lang. Walang mangyayari. Di ba, na-depress na nga tayo. Gusto mo, ma-depress pa tayo ulit, 2025. I heard it all, man. We all heard it. But guess what? Hindi lang tayo nanalo. Nag-top pa tayo at 21 million votes. So the biggest lie that the deceivers want to tell you is that you're small. The biggest lie that yung mga magnanakaw, umatay tao, the authoritarians, the biggest lie that they want to tell you is wala kayong kapangyarihan. When clearly, ang kapangyarihan nasa tao, nasa atin yan. Diba? And we prove it every so often. People come out, we show it, we see it with our own eyes. Kahapon, that was over 100,000 people in Luneta and People Power Monument. Diba? Marami tayo, hindi tayo kukunti. At yung bawat isa sa atin, may levels of influence. They want to make it look like ganito na to forever. Para to mahimik na lang tayo. So we cower, tatahimik na lang tayo, tatanggapin, normalize na naman natin yan. By the way, tataka ba kayo kung bakit ganun yung mga vlogs, 'di ba? Showing off the designer bags and the Rolls Royce and ganyan. Kasi na-normalize eh. For a long time na-normalize na ito yung okay, ito yung maganda, ito yung values ng ating bansa, 'di ba? Sa diskarte ko, nagawa ko to, ganyan, 'di ba? And now it's a wake-up call na hindi dapat ganyan, 'di ba? So, the biggest lie that they will try to put on us is wala tayong kapangyarihan. And yung idea na walang mangyayari, time and time again, it's proven na kung yung tao gagalaw, may mangyayari. Kung yung tao boboto ng maayos, may mangyayari. Kung yung tao lalabas sa kalsada. Now, honestly, hindi lang siya labas sa kalsada, it's also social media. Like, syempre, minomonitor natin to. In fact, ako nga, I was so surprised na ganun karaming tao yung lumabas kahapon. Kasi, to a point, people would say, hindi, nasa social media na yung the battleground is now on social media. That's where people vent their frustration and anger. But yesterday, people actually went out and braved the rain sa kahit umuulan. Lumabas pa rin sila. Diba? So
Again, I was saying this when you were here last time, though. When we compare it to maybe some of the things that are going on currently in other countries, whether it be Nepal or Indonesia, it's a younger generation hitting the streets, and maybe that'll be a good thing. Now, fine, we don't want the violence that we're seeing in those countries, but maybe this is a generation that's going to take to the streets. It's not a cell phone generation only. They're out there and they're doing a lot of action. It's a Gen Z thing over there.
This generation will surprise us.
Yeah.
Every time, walang pakayan. 2022, kalahati nung rally, Gen Z. Ano yan? Di naman mag-register yan. Nag-register sila. Nanalo kami ni Senator Kiko 2025. Di na lalabas sa kalsada yan. Siguro more than half of the, more than half of the participants yesterday, mga Gen Z sila.
Love it.
Pati daw sa Roblox, nag-rally. I mean, can you imagine that, di ba? May rally na Roblox. So, although let me say this. There were 3 rallies yesterday. 2 were peaceful, 1 was not.
Uh-huh.
Okay? The one in Luneta nung umaga was very peaceful. Makikita mo yung mga galing sa Luneta kasi naka-black sila eh. So kahapon, yung mga naka-black, they came from the Luneta rally. Oy, galing kayo sa Luneta? Kumusta? Okay po, okay, maganda, ganyan. And then yung mga naka-white, yun yung pumunta sa People Power Monument. So there were 2. Those 2 were very peaceful, I think. They were following the tradition of the Philippines na kaya nating magprotesta na walang karahasan, walang violence. But the third one was violent. And that was the one in Mendiola, no? And police officers were hurt, even the protesters were hurt. Yun yung kailangan nating iwasan. And I'm gonna say this. We should protest. We have a history of protest in the Philippines, pero wag tayong pupunta doon. Wag tayong pupunta sa karahasan. Kasi once you go that route, it actually gives, the other groups who want to stop our protests more reason.
Sure.
Mas lalakas yung loob nila. May rason na sila para itigil to. 'Di ba?
Yeah.
So, if more protests are going to happen, we really have to make sure na safe to. Kahapon kausap ko yung mga pulis. Kahit yung mga pulis kahapon sa People Power Monument, gusto rin naman nila mag-rally. I want to talk to them. Kumusta kayo? Okay kami, sir. Okay kami. Kasi peaceful yung mga tao. At the same time, ramdam rin nila eh. Yung mga kausap ko rin sa military, ramdam rin nila eh. They know that the soldiers need food. They need better armaments. They need more equipment to help us sa West Philippine Sea. But nakikita rin nila, trilyon peso yung nawawala. So kahit sila, na-frustrate rin sila. So I'm hoping na this doesn't become like in other countries na police and military versus protesters. Because I'm sure kahit yung ibang police at military, alam rin nila itong problemang to. Right. And they also, if they could, they would also protest, no? So yun lang. Let's just make sure na if there are more protests to come, siguraduhin lang natin na hindi siya aabot sa karahasan. And, may mga sumubok kahapon, naka-mask, all black, ganyan. I know their frustration, pero hindi tama yan. Hindi talaga tama yung aabot tayo sa karahasan.
Yeah. I'm with you and I think everybody listening to the show is with you and let's see this through. Let's not lose the energy for it. While we want people angry and we want people kind of energetic, just not violent. What's different, I think, about this scandal, outside of it being the largest, maybe, right, corruption case in the history of the country, is that it hits public works. It hits infrastructure. Was it during the pork barrel that was more financial diversion, single mega contracts, right? Like your ZTE. But this one is it. This is your everyday life. This is the streets you were on. These are the buildings. These are your places flooding. These are your provinces. These are your homes. So this is different. This is a different one. And I think with this situation, we're hoping, understanding that brings a level of energy that just doesn't go to sleep. I mean, we're just going to be on this every day, 24/7. And that's right.
Habang umuulan, may bagyo today.
Yeah, it reminds you. It reminds you.
Habang umuulan, habang bumabaha, hanggang December pa yan. Usually December nga, may mga matinding bagyo pa yan, di ba? That's 3 more months. We will not forget. Hindi natin to papakawalan. Kasi habang bumabaha at habang umuulan at habang ramdam ng tao to, hindi talaga to papakawalan. So, December is usually the end of the typhoon season. Yeah. Di ba? So we have 3 more months to get those 3 goals done. May makulong, mabalik yung pera, may systemic change tayo. That's what we want to see. Oh, by the way, the fourth one, the 2026 budget better be the best budget ever. Grabe. I mean, ito na pag-uusapan namin to among the senators na
BBE, best budget ever.
best budget ever, man. And si Senator Sherwin, to be fair, talagang seryoso niya. Sabi ko, this is gonna be the budget that everyone will scrutinize. Everybody will, tawag doon? Will comb through, di ba? And talagang kikilatisin to. We have to make sure na maayos tong budget na to. Walang mga kalusot. And yung napopondohan, yung mga bagay na talagang mahalaga sa tao. And that's why we've been pushing from July, since July pa, itong flood control, malipat sa education. And looks like we were able to manifest it naman. A huge chunk of the flood control budget will go to education. Maybe probably education and health. No? So I'm hoping na maybe 25% of our classroom gap can be covered this year. Para in the next 4 or 5 years, we'll be able to close that gap. And it just means, popondohan mo yung mga bagay na talagang mahalaga. Huwag mo nang pondohan yung mga bagay na malaki yung kita ng mga contractor at malaki yung kita ng mga proponent. Yun talaga yung kailangan itigil na. And that's something I think people should also be focused on. Kasi the budget is done usually before Christmas. So talagang, kumbaga kung teleserye to, alam ko na kung ano yung end of season 1. No? The end of season 1 is probably gonna be when that budget is passed. Hopefully, kasabay na niyan itong mga ibang napag-usapan natin. And hopefully, it's a budget we can all be proud of. Yun yung sinasabi ko sa mga ibang kasama. This has to be a budget we can be proud of. Diba?
Bam, you're the hands-on type of guy, right? We've seen it in the way you've campaigned and you're a go-getter, doer, whatever action. But did you expect that you jump into the Senate? Maybe there'd be like a little bit of a ramp up, maybe like a slow few months before it starts to get wild. Boom, you're in and the place is falling apart. And you're like, I gotta get to work right now. I gotta get to work right now. Right.
Ang simula nito, mahiya naman kayo yung simula ito is July 28, di ba?
Yeah.
And nag-GA kami the other week. And my message to my team was, this is a new era. We have to accept that we have entered a new era here. Diba? Yung campaign was there and then when we won, ibang era na yon. When we started to go to office, ibang era rin yon. And maraming changes physically, even with things, no? With processes, may mga changes. And this scandal has started a whole new era. And we all have our roles to play. Ito yung sinasabi ko sa mga tao. We all have our roles to play. I don't mind if at this stage we're just supporting the people who are at the forefront. Senator Lacson, Mayor Benji. Sila yung investigador di ba? Sila yung mga marunong mag-investigate. Let them investigate. But we will have our role to play, which is maybe pushing for the systemic changes, making sure the budget is better. Kanya-kanyang role tayo dito. And I didn't expect it, but guess what? When I won in 2013, within a few months, nagda-Poles scandal. So,
so this is
it's your lot
baka
in your
yung malas.
political career.
No, but alam mo, okay,
Story of your life,
on
man.
one side, malas na may skandalo kasi syempre it's but okay na rin Kasi it paves the way for something better. Like after the Napoles scandal, talagang you could tell na for the next few years, talagang nobody was pulling any crazy stuff, di ba? Talagang nag-iingat lahat. People were really being following the rules and really being serious about the rules, di ba? So ngayon, I'm sure ganun din. I'm sure ganun din.
And with added transparency, with your blockchain and what I mean, like when the solutions come after all of this done.
Yun yung change. I think that's the difference.
Right. Yep.
In 2013, parang it was enough to be angry. May mga nakulong naman doon rin, in fairness. Hindi nabalik yung pera. But the changes weren't there. Hindi nagkaroon ng systemic changes. And I guess yung mga tao who feel na kakapagod naman to, it's because hindi natin na-pursue yung mga systemic changes. Diba? And maybe now we've learned, may capacity ba ang Pilipinas to learn from our mistakes? Meron ba? Parang meron naman siguro. I'm hopeful na meron naman, diba?
Yeah, I'm gonna feed off of your optimism and your hope because it's very, very easy to get deflated once these things happen. I kind of I'm kind of wondering about maybe some of the other departments that are not in the corruption spotlight right now, but that maybe historically have been always kind of sus about whether it's BIR or if it's customs or things. Yeah. I wonder if they're either like shaking right now, like, oh God, we better clean our stuff up right now. You know what I mean? Like maybe some of the people who have their Ferraris and their Lamborghini, oy, benta mo na yan, benta mo na yan. Like nobody's doing documentaries. Like I wonder how the other departments that historically have had fingers pointed at them reacting right now while there's no attention on them.
I really don't know. Like I have no information about that. Pero gusto ko lang banggitin yung isang video clip na si Secretary Dizon tsaka si Mayor Benji pumuntang La Union.
Yeah.
Tapos nag-check sila ng flood control. Tapos parang yung mga pipe parang nilapag lang.
Oh gosh.
Dude, sabi ko, tapos yung reaction nila, ano to, props? Diba? Kasi obviously walang ginawa or obviously parang wala masyadong ginawa or walang ginawa. And then naglagay na lang ng mga bakal-bakal doon para mukhang may construction. And then,
right.
Syempre, pagtingin nila, parang ano to, nakalapag lang? Yung hindi man nakahukay, ganyan, diba? Yung parang, guys, padating daw yung secretary. Ano ba gagawa natin in 24 hours? Boss, wala tayong magagawa in 24 hours. Sige, lapag nyo na lang. Lapag nyo na lang dyan. Diba? Nalapukan eh. Diba? By the way, they're doing an audit right now. Yun yung tanong ko naman kay Secretary Dizon. Sabi ko, when are you gonna be finished with your audit? And he said, the audit will take months pero magpo-progressive publishing kami or progressive posting of substandard and ghost projects. So it's not like one-time list na, ito lahat ng Pilipinas, ito yung lahat ng ghost project. They're gonna do it progressively sa dami ng kanilang na-uncover. You know? So yan, mga ganyan na mga proyekto na yung mga plaque or yung mga placard na tinatanggal, di ba? Yung mga lumalabas sa social media ngayon, di ba? May mga billboard, tapos yun, tinatanggal na para hindi ma-identify na project ng gobyerno, ganyan.
You know, these scandals are just necessary. Yeah, it'll make you angry. It'll make you lose faith. But that's all in the interim. You really need these scandals for those systematic changes. I mean, without this, there is no better Philippines, right? In the future. So, we're negative right now. We're angry, rightfully so. But understand, it's the opportunity. You've been talking about this for weeks now, Bam. You've said the word opportunity. These are opportunities. They're ugly right now, but they can, if done right, this can really, really do a 180 on what this country can look like in the near future. So let's kind of embrace it that way, right? Let's go. Okay, yeah.
Don't drop the ball, people.
Yeah. Ugly, but if we don't drop the ball, wow, can we really make a difference in the very near future? So, yeah, ball on your court, Bam. Once that money's returned, man, you spend it wisely on those classrooms and everything that you've got on your hands. And yeah, we can really see some good stuff.
Yeah, bantayan natin to, guys. I'll see you next week. Salamat. There's a Blue Ribbon tomorrow, so everybody, I'm sure, nakabantay rin dyan. And we'll also have our sponsorship speech of the Classroom Acceleration Program on Wednesday. So that's going to be the first law, I think, to be tackled. And you know, rightfully so na ang unang batas na ilalabas natin is talking about funding our classrooms, hopefully using the flood control budget na dapat lang na ma-slash, diba? And that's gonna be this week. And I'll see you guys next week. Salamat. Thanks, guys.
See you, Sam.
Thanks, man.
Bye, guys. Salamat.
Thank you.
7:58. We got to take a break. Sam, we also got an announcement. We'll probably do that right after this. Take care, Bam. And back after this. Don't go away.
Good times.
Time number 3 of the show at 8:07. We survived almost 2 hours plus.
We did it.
Because Bam did all the heavy lifting here.
So what's the
Yes.
situation? So see, Alex is away for the rest of the week. He's in
No,
Japan?
I think he's in Baguio and he will be back tomorrow.
I saw
I think
Baguio. Okay.
Today was his travel day coming from Baguio back to Manila. And then Mara for sure will be here tomorrow. I don't know about Kay because Kay's heavy in the middle of promotions for her new movie with
Aurora Quezon.
Yeah.
Right.
And then who else is on this show? And we just had that. And then you're in Korea.
Okay, so we're like, it's GNLU tomorrow. Not GNLU.
No.
In any case.
It should be 4 of us tomorrow. At least, for sure. Sure, Neon.
All right.
Book it, girl. What do you got?
All right, let's do this. You know, as we all know, iba na talaga panahon ngayon, right? Patiting
Exactly.
init, tapos
Okay.
biglang may pag-ulan, paminsan-minsan, nako, lagot kang bata ka. Mabuti na lang at may Immunomax food supplement. Ang Immunomax ay gawa sa CM glucan na nagmula pa sa Switzerland. Ito ay available in capsule for adults and syrup for kids, also in Forte variant. Mula sa aming studio o kahit nasan ka pa, magandang balita talaga ang Immunomax. Mahalagang paalala, ang Immunomax at Immunomax Forte ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamiting panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
Yeah.
Wow!
Wow. Look at that. Hitting our demographic right in the chest.
Dude. That was a lot. I need an Immunomax myself.
That's why they made that one. That's why they made it sound that way. So what's your plan for today over there? Are you how far away from like center Seoul? We were talking about locations earlier. How far from like absolute center Myeongdong are you from?
Like via subway?
Yeah, how long to Gangnam?
I want to say something like 30 minutes.
Oh, okay, so you're kind of a little bit out there then. Yes?
A little bit, yeah. I'm not in
Is it-
Seoul. I'm like kind of in the outskirts a little bit.
And does it change dramatically in the way it looks? Does it feel a little bit more kind of old school, authentic than the lights and buildings and technology that's littered all over Seoul in a good way, by the way?
Yeah, where I am, I would say yes, there's like, buildings and whatnot, but it's a lot more chill here and it's a lot more lush. Although I think it's pretty lush everywhere because Korea is so mountainous. But
Sure.
this is it's a lot more chill where I am.
Have you seen your action star brother since you've been home?
I have. I'm so proud of him. He's so busy right now. He's head of security for the APEC summit that's happening here in October.
Yeah.
So he is away during the week and then he's only back home for the weekends. But I was able to catch him over the weekend, which is nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So, you reading my mind? See you guys tomorrow.
I believe so. Yeah. Yeah. Hey.
Yes.
Even the playback is reading your mind at this point.
Love it. Yes. When are you back in studio? Just so we can bring a little hope into our world.
Next Monday,
Okay, so Monday you'll be there.
guys. Yeah.
Tomorrow we'll have a longer show.
I believe so,
because
diba?
we'll have
Kasi,
more.
it's gonna be the four of us.
Plus, it's raining right now, right? Careful, guys.
So I hear, may bagyo daw. Oh,
We want to keep you out of harm's way.
correct.
I heard it floods
This is
over there. So
for you guys. This is for you.
this is for your safety.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks to Bam for joining us as well remotely. And have a great start to your week. Tomorrow, the four of us should be here. Have a good one. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Good times.